Today's story was written by Reddit user Dividedthought. We were clueless when they first passed through our home system. What with us having barely invented the telescope, their warships were mistaken for asteroids adrift in the void, tiny sparkling gems dancing between stars. The second time they entered our system, we thought it was a show of force, immense explosions at the periphery of our primitive sensors range. We only realised that it was a military action and not some strange cosmic happenstance from the new stray radio signal we detected and spent decades decoding. The few words we were able to translate boiled down to, "That should show them." By the third incursion we had reached our moons. We saw them. We thought they didn't see us. Assumed our habitats on the moons were buried deep enough and disguised well enough. They passed by without a word. Thousands of titans made of titanium and tungsten and steel, using methods we couldn't fathom, travelling towards a goal we were ignorant of. We managed to detect their ships entering the system, not soon enough to react to them, but we detected it. Quite the feat at our tech level, from what I understand. It was on the fourth incursion when contact occurred. An exploratory ship, the Iskra around Navius, was collecting data for a new colonisation site when it happened. Thousands of massive pings on the long-range sensors consistent with what we had detected last time. The crew were ordered to minimise their signature and hide among the rings of Navius. It did not matter. The fleet passed through the rings, harvested some resources. One of the ships dispatched a smaller craft, a single light fighter, which stopped a kilometre away from the Iskra, watching it. It took some scans and the Iskra did the same. Tense hours passed. Then the behemoths left the rings and the fighter returned to its berth. A small beacon was left behind. A cylinder no larger than a drinking glass that gave off enough of a signal for us to notice. The Iskra retrieved it, and what it contained set our scientific communities on fire with a desire to know more. Our military, on the other appendage, was scared shitless that they had already translated our language. The capsule contained the instructions on how to build a planetary shield generator, in our language. Alongside those were the instructions on how to find and refine the materials we had not yet discovered in order to accomplish this. We didn't know if it was a gift, a warning, or a threat, but we built them anyhow. The pre-calculated requirements for every inhabited body in our system destroyed the idea we could hide from them. Over the next decade, we waited, anticipating their return with equal amounts of hope and fear. Then the Uranti arrived. Unfortunately for us, autonomous transport drones were the only things travelling between planets. Central Command's detection maps lit up like a newborn sun as hundreds of thousands of biomechanical ships exited warp on the edge of the system, burning for the planets we inhabited. It was as if the apocalypse had arrived. The shield generators screamed to life, the purple-tinted fields of physics phenomena we had yet to fully understand, flaring brightly as we locked ourselves behind them, hoping they would be enough. In our panic, we failed to notice the massive pulse of energy blasted in one direction from a low orbit around our star, a signal, a beacon, calling out to those who left it there that the shields were activated and under attack. We thought we were alone in this fight. As it turns out, we were wrong. The sensors lit up once more, not with the strange signatures of these new invaders, but with the telltale characteristics of the old. A message was received. Do not despair. Help has arrived. Above our skies, lights boomed among the invading fleet as weapons with the potential to level continents detonated. Beams of energies we couldn't comprehend lanced out from the invaders, only to bounce harmlessly off lavender-hued shields, to dissipate in the void between the stars. Gargantuan amalgamations of flesh and metal were cleaved in two by projectiles travelling at a high fraction of the speed of light. For 5 days, our skies became a kaleidoscope of chaos and fury as the battle raged on. We could do nothing but stare in awe of the sheer displays of power occurring amidst the black. It was as if the gods of old were clashing in the heavens. We watched as the invaders dug in on the fourth moon of our homeworld, 3 of their motherships tunneling deep beneath its rocky surface and projecting a shield of their own in defiance of the slaughter above. It did not help them. We watched with equal amounts of horror and amazement as the largest of the ships helping us unfolded like some great cosmic flower, visible to the naked eye from the surface of our homeworld. A glow emerged within its immense petals and built in brilliance until we could no longer look directly at it. A lance of pure silver light streaked from what we now know to be a Hades-class exterminator, a weapon capable of erasing entire stars from existence in the blink of an eye. The tendril of pure destruction crept across the sky, slowly from our vantage point, but it crossed the abyss between its origin and target in a mere 30 seconds. When it struck, it left a glowing wound in the surface. Then we were shown the definition of overwhelming force. Irium detonated, unable to contain the impossible energies that had been violently injected into its core. Fragments of moon, larger than even the ships overhead, crashed into the planetary shields, only to be vaporized into their most basic elements. Our saviour's ships went to work, obliterating any of the debris that would have come back to haunt us decades in the future, when their orbits around our star would have brought them back home. 2 days later, the fight was over. Billions of tons of wreckage now meandered through space, posing a hazard to our ships. Our saviours were not unbloodied, but they were the only ones still alive. The shields were turned off, and the Iskra was launched carrying our top diplomats, politicians, scientists, and generals. We waited, terrified of what would happen next, as we knew that nothing would be the same again. Hours passed. Many of our saviour's ships moved to orbit Anavius to restock from the abundance of her rings. Eventually, the Iskra returned, carrying envoys from our mysterious saviours. Every eye was glued to the broadcast as the 2 armoured beings stepped off the ship alongside our leaders. A podium was brought, and after a declaration that the immediate threat was over, and that our saviours were here to stay until we could defend ourselves, the 2 aliens stepped up to the microphone. After seconds that felt like eons, they spoke in flawless Zerogin. Greetings, the entire Zeraji race. We are representatives of the United Terran Republic, a spacefaring alliance of hundreds of species gathered with the goal of ensuring no race is extinguished before their time or exploited by our less hospitable neighbours. To you, we come in peace, in hope that you may join us after all these years you spent watching our ships drift by. We didn't contact you prior to this to prevent the Aranti from finding you sooner. We gave you the shield technologies to hold them off when they inevitably detected your advancements. We left a beacon so we could help when they arrived. We welcome you with open arms and hearts to our galactic community. You owe us nothing for our help. As we were helped ages ago by a dying race, we too send our ships. To you, the stars are no longer out of reach. Again, welcome. Among our stars, you are among friends. Translator's note. Excerpt from First Contact, a Historian's Account, by Aranmik Isnoktian, head historian of the Zerachi Activist Guild.